There are four things killing your marriage. Hi, I'm Joshua Freeman, and today I want to help you identify these four marriage slayers. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us on this podcast. My name is Joshua Freeman, and I am licensed in the state of Texas as a professional counselor. As you know, my goal for this podcast is to answer some of your questions and provide insight into having better relationships and marriages. I want to help you learn how to thrive in those relationships and not just survive. So let's jump into today's topic. Today, we are taking a look at the 4 A's that are killing your marriage. The first thing that is killing your marriage, we might call the silent killer. It is a problem that creeps in on us. Even when we think everything is going great, this marriage killer is apathy. I see apathy walk into the counseling office in a variety of forms all the time. Sometimes it's as simple as saying, well, things are going great, so why do we need to work on our marriage? Everything's perfect. We never fight. We never argue. Other times, apathy comes in the form of lack of concern for a relationship, even whenever that ship is sinking. Apathy, or this laziness, it's no excuse in a marriage to give up or to just quit. We ought to be pursuing our partner throughout our life. This means we pursue them above our children, above our careers, above our friends, above our church ministries, above the bottom line, above everything. You might say, but Josh, I'm not the apathetic one in the relationship. It's my spouse, my husband, or my wife. What do I do? Well, the truth is, you cannot change or force another person to change. You can only change and work on yourself. Examine your life. Examine your motives. Examine what you do. Ask yourself where you have been apathetic and possibly lazy. It takes two to tango, which means whenever a relationship is degrading, it's two people that are causing it. One might be causing it more, but even when it comes to apathy, we all are apathetic in some way. Make a commitment to pursue your loved one even if they don't pursue you back, and then take action on that commitment. Create a plan. Come up with ideas. Not just things you've always done, but try new things. Often, after you pursue your partner for a little while, you'll notice that they begin to reciprocate the pursuit, and they'll begin slowly to pursue you. The first marriage killer is apathy, but the second is dangerous too. Anger is the second thing killing your relationship. It's often the result of allowing things to build up until it just explodes. And sometimes that explosion is not a violent verbal or physical explosion. It just all comes out at once. It can be related to stress. It can be related to stress at work, unresolved conflict, parenting, health issues, or a variety of other things. Anger, even if it is passive-aggressive, will kill your marriage if it's not dealt with. I recommend a 2-pronged approach in addressing anger. Begin by getting yourself some help first. Then, find a good marriage counselor who can help you work through anger, resentment, unforgiveness in your relationship. You see, we have to start with ourselves first. If we can begin to address our faults, then we can pull our spouse in to address theirs. Now, this doesn't mean every time you need counseling, you don't go as a couple first. This just means if your issue is anger, start with the anger and then work on how it impacts you as a couple with a good counselor. A great book about anger and how to deal with anger and how to begin the process. It certainly doesn't replace professional counseling. It may be what you need, but if it's less than what you need, it's a great start. And it's called Telling Yourself the Truth by Backus and Chapin. I probably said their names wrong, but it's a great book. This is a great place to start even when you're waiting for that first couples appointment or that first individual appointment. Most anger can be dealt with over time. And most anger, in theory, it's easy to overcome, but that's for another episode. So, anger is the second one, but the third marriage slayer that has found its way into your relationship is avoidance. Now, I see avoidance a lot when couples come into my office. Avoidance is dangerous to good communication skills and habits. It creates misunderstandings, mistrust, unresolved issues, and emotional distance in a relationship. The reason for avoidance is usually simple. We usually avoid disagreements in our relationships because we feel that there's no point. Why we feel this can be multiple reasons. We tell ourselves that our spouse won't listen, or that they won't care about what we have to say, our side about the issue, or maybe about our emotions and feelings on the topic. Sometimes we avoid a potential disagreement because we have the assumption that based upon previous interactions, this conversation will go just as bad, if not worse. It'll go poorly. Which is unfair. We're not giving our spouse the opportunity to change. The truth is, avoidance is making a potential issue into a much greater and guaranteed issue. You're just putting it under the rug until it builds and builds and builds, and then explodes like a volcano. Rather than avoid a disagreement, set some ground rules that allow each of you to speak and to be heard. Paraphrase what you hear the other saying so that they understand that you have truly listened to them and you're not just formulating your own opinions and your own rebuttal to their comment. Remind yourself that your spouse is not the problem. Rather, you and your partner must team up against the problem if you wish to defeat and overcome it. Don't let avoidance ruin your relationship. Seek to not avoid, but to address whatever the issue is. Speak up. Address the matter in a gentle and loving way with each other. You'll see that it goes much further, even if it's a little to pain at first. The fourth marriage killer is addiction. Addiction is anything that an individual struggles to let go of in spite of its destructive nature. While alcohol and drugs are two of the big ones, let's talk about the largest addiction right now that is killing a marriage, and that is the addiction to pornography. Now, we don't have time to go into all the ins and outs of pornography addiction and how to get out of it. That's several other podcasts, but Time.com reported that married people who start watching porn, or who do watch porn, are twice as likely to be divorced as those who don't. Porn is a big problem. Many of the couples that come into my office, one or both, are struggling with porn. And ladies, it's not just the men who have porn addictions. Women are catching up, if not surpassing men, in their pornography watching habits. While not a lot of evidence was given for this statistic by Time.com, there are numerous bodies of research that have shown the devastation of porn addiction on the marriage. If you or your husband are addicted to porn, you need to seek professional help. It does not just go away. There are many great lay programs out there. Covenant Eyes and many others like that. But you also need to seek the help of a professional counselor. Another addiction that is killing your marriage is one that we often may not think about. It's the addiction to technology. This addiction is becoming a constant, consistent reason marriages are falling apart. Many couples report in session that they or their spouse cannot put down the smartphone. They cannot get off that tablet or step away from that computer or turn off the television. We live in a world that has blessed us with great mobility, with wonderful things we never dreamed could be possible when it comes to technology. But this has also left a curse, as it has wired our brains to seek screen time above couple time. Make a pact to turn off the phones and electronics for a specific amount of time. Don't get sucked in, and if you are sucked in, begin by putting your phone down, both of you, even if you're not the one that has a problem with it. Don't tell the other person only to do it. You do it as well. Set aside a time. Start with 30 minutes where you put it to the side and you say, this is our time and we will protect this time. We will be present with each other. Not only will this save your marriage, it will help defeat the relationship murderer and teach your children how to love their future spouse and to show them the attention that they need. There you go. These are the 4 things that are killing your marriage. I would love to know what other questions you have. If you have questions, please send them to me at joshua@joshua baytowncounseling.com. Again, that's Joshua at baytowncounseling.com. And feel free to comment below. If you don't mind, help me out by clicking the subscribe button and smashing that thumbs up button. There's also a little bell that you can hit that'll help notify you whenever a new video is uploaded. Remember, above all, don't settle for surviving, but learn to thrive.